Why acting national chairman Damagun may survive. You have to read up those stories because it's a major one. And we also have Ondo Guba, APC clears Ayeditiwa, Ibrahim, okay, 13 others for primaries. And the analysis is on who wins APC governorship ticket. That's from the Nation, and above the mass, that's where I'm taking that from. Chibok girls, parents can demand release of 91 still in captivity, and is a long one because still no closure 10 years after. And there is a report that you should read where the Murtala Mohammed Foundation has come out to say that a lot of these girls came back with about 21 of them came back with about 34 or so children, sexually harassed, coerced into marriages, and some have passed on. Some parents too have died, and some parents are complaining that their children were released and put into centers with their abductors in quote for rehabilitation. It's a messy story, it's a sad story. You could read that up. The Nation and virtually all the papers have it this morning. And this one made the rounds over the weekend. 20 held as Yoruba Nation agitators invade Oyo Secretariat. And we have another one. Northern Elders Forum political burden to region Mata Wali. That is what they're saying because they feel that what the Northern Elders Forum, remember what they said the other time? They said, no, we do not agree with you, and this is like a burden. That's from the Nation, and hopefully my analyst will be joining me shortly. I'm talking about Rufai Husseini and Ejiro Umokoro. That's our plan, and I'm hoping that we can sort that out and have them join us quickly. All right. We'll also, okay, I can hear that. Rufai will be joining us soon. Rufai and Ejiro. Good morning, guys. All right. All right. Good morning. Hold back. All right. We'll try and sort that out. We'll try and sort that out. Techie things can have techie issues. Sorry about that hold back. Once it's sorted, I'll have them on because they're already online with us this morning. Are we ready? Okay, let's go. Hi, morning, guys. Okay, one of you has the speaker on. Kill your speaker and listen via your headpiece.
I don't have a speaker on.
Okay, Ejiro.
I think the echoes happen whether or not the speakers are on. I think it's just a whole back thing.
Okay, I think it's better now, right?
Exactly.
Okay, you guys can hear me. Take it up a little more so I can hear them too. All right. So, which of the stories? I just took some from the Nations right now. The Nation newspaper. You can carry on. Welcome, by the way. Good morning.
So, for me, there's a story that is making the round. That story pretty much talks about the disarray going on in the PDP as we speak. So, the PDP is about to have their National Working Committee, meeting, and they're about to make some key determination as regards leadership. And pretty much is a fight for the soul of the. Like against them all this while.
Okay. Unfortunately, this seemed not to be. It seemed not to be playing out the way it should. I would. Okay, carry on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Yeah. So another story making the round is the fact that the EFCC released the presser yesterday. And for me, in my entire life, that's okay. I'll be exaggerating if I say that. That's one of the most nebulous pressers I've seen, because the EFCC said many things that they didn't say anything. At first, the issue of the humanitarian ministry. the question we should ask the ES is this one: is, are they done with that investigation? And why can't they charge the people involved to court?
Okay.
Because now they're coming and say people have not been cleared as regards the managerial ministry. They're doing other investigations as regards COVID-19 funds, about loot and blah, blah, blah. That it's a web, they're investigating and the law and the bankers and all of that. But where is the end of this investigation? How long is it going to take to be able to charge these people to court and put the report out there? So it's a very nebulous presser because you are not even telling us anything. You're just saying that nobody has been cleared. So what is going on as regards this investigation all this while? And the next thing you said, you're tracking some celebrities and you're tracking some other people of interest and the likes and all of that. I mean, really, you're tracking them when they're abundant evidence because you could jail Bobrisky for this same offense and the next one you're tracking them. I mean, that's why I put out a video recently of the current governor of Niger State, spraying money at an event. I think it was a rally or something, just spraying money to citizens on the street. So if you cannot go after people like that, so what kind of society, what kind of norms are we saying is available in society? If there's one law for one and there's a law for the other one. And another thing is, there were 2 charges brought against Bobrisky. EFCC should tell us the full part of that charge against Bobrisky, where they talked about money laundering. Because it was just charged based on fire flunking and all of that. But what of the money laundering charge? Or was that just put out there to be able to be very strong?
Oh wow! Technology seems to be having its own mind this morning. I don't know where the is from. There is a major holdback. Maybe we're going to change the facility and try something else. While we're sorting that out, let me move over now to the Vanguard. And above the mast for the Vanguard, breach of contract, Shell sues Venture Global in U.S. court. Attackers dressed in foreign military camouflage army. This is as per the Oyo invasion. Global condemnation trails Iran's attack on Israel. Edoguba, APC's rank swells with 9 defectors. Oshomale apologizes to Otoigbe. And also, or rather, that is Oroigbe. And also, Edo government condemns clash between LP candidates and Uniben SUG. I think that should be taken up. They should really take up that matter. The school should too. Tariff hike. TCN discos bicker over failing 20-hour supply. Band A consumers protest under supply, seek downgrade. Total supply remains insufficient. Consumer network. Government must sensitize consumers. Others power up Nigeria. Discos to set up response team. Reverse hike to avert further misery, suffering, and electricity workers vow to shut, or rather, electricity workers say that, and vow to shut power supply nationwide if colleagues are attacked. All right, these are some of the riders on that major story. You have both of them now? Okay, all right, good.
I don't know why we keep having
it is the not enemy back to sender. They will not spoil
it. I'll have to look through their systems over
there. Okay, you guys are on the air now. All right,
and have volume to off.
All right. Okay, it happens, guys. I'm talking to you guys. You guys are just in your own gist. Okay, maybe you come back to us now. Okay, let's try again.
It's not supposed to.
All right, can you guys hear me now? All right, power shift. Tinubu's factor PDP in make on Mar neck meeting this week. Those with integrity solidly behind me, Fubara declares. Okwama allow entrapped residents access to their homeland. Ewu Kingdom begs Tinubu, Army, Delta government. And we're taking all this from the Vanguard. We also have here Chibok girls. U.S. renews commitment to Nigeria's anti-terrorism efforts. 21 released girls came with 34 children. 91 still unaccounted for. And on the sports, Super Eagles coach pendulum swings against Finidi. Okay, we're trying to sort the techie things on. It's better now. All right, guys, if you can hear me, I'm going to come back to you now, and you please react to the stories I've taken so far, and we'll move on to others. Hoping it's all good.
I can
now.
hear you, but your voice just went off. It's faintish.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay, that's good. Rufai, can you hear me too?
Yes, I can. Yes,
Okay,
I can.
great. All right, Rufai, we heard you. You talked about the Bobrisky thing and the paper EFCC came out with yesterday that made all the headlines this morning. And maybe, Ejiro, you react to that too, if you will. And then you take a look at some of all the other headlines I've read from the Vanguard and the Nation.
At first, I must have to confess your voice is faint. It's in and out, so I can barely hear most of the things you say.
Oh, sorry
Secondly,
about that.
I think I can catch we're talking about Bobrisky.
Yeah.
And what I was pretty much saying is you had a very speedy delivery of judgments for Bobrisky. There were two cases. At first, you said about money laundering. That's what I'm talking to the EFCC. What's the charge on the money laundering? Have you cleared him of that so that the whole world can know? Secondly, you said you're also looking at other people. And when I say you said, I'm talking up to the EFCC
Yeah.
now. You're also looking at other people that perpetrated those crimes of spraying money and all of that. They had videos and also as regards that. So what are you doing as regards them? How are you going to speedily effect that? Thirdly, I talked about the humanitarian ministry.
Rufai, can you hear me? Hold on, Rufai. You know, there was something they wrote there that people had been sending them a lot of videos with people spraying money and all that. And they said, oh, those are old videos. They are only going to be looking at videos that are from a particular date this year. I think from about February upwards. And that new videos, they'll be looking at new videos. But those old ones, they've already gone with the wind, so from the new ones. You saw that, right?
Then would you respect the EFCC say that they don't even know the laws of the land? Because Naira flunking has been a crime way back in the CBN Act as much as I can remember. So it's not a new law that will take effect from maybe when they set up some committee in the EFCC to look at it and enforce it. All right? So, and that's why the likes of Chidi Odinkalu have been having a go at EFCC, that the EFCC doesn't really know what they are doing, really. And it's a lot of back and forth and shoddy judgment processing in their executions. And most importantly, they were talking about the humanitarian ministry. They said nobody has been cleared. So what's the outcome of this investigation you've been doing for a while?
With
I'm
billions,
sure you have prepared a report.
Yeah, billions recovered
So
in Naira and in
What's
dollars.
the outcome? Because if you don't bring out an outcome and prosecute immediately, like I was saying, some intel was telling me that they concluded the investigation. Now you're saying you're not concluded the investigation. So bring out the outcome.
Yeah.
So if you do not effectively do what you have to do, you will leave room for speculations.
Yeah. And that story Rufai is talking about. Okay. That story is humanitarian ministry. EFCC recovers fresh $445,000 and 3 billion naira. You can catch that story in the Punch too. Go ahead.
So it's just about the EFCC coming out and giving us the real details of things and showing us that they're going ahead to prosecute. I think those are, it's clear, it's out there. Please, let's just do what is right and let's do what is effective. I would also like to take our time to talk about Israel and Gaza extensively and Iran.
Rufai, hold on a bit. Let Ejiro react to some of these and then we'll go over to that one that is major today. All right, Ejiro, go ahead.
Yes, on the humanitarian matter of recovery of funds and forensic revelations and all of that. It's interesting when you see that play out, and then at the end of the day, we have no final conclusive arraignment and judgment and prosecution where necessary of those who have been, in quotes, let me use to coin the phrase here, been fingered in this matter. And I think getting a proper resolution on it is key, and that the EFCC must begin to present itself publicly to the image of the Nigerians' perception that they are balanced in how they actually effectively deliver and prosecute, that their selectivity in prosecution is not one-sided, nor a whim. They just woke up according to their own caprices to, just target a particular person because they have an agenda, because this is how it's beginning to look like. I mean, the CBN Act is clear. This has been on for over 10 years. I don't see why the EFCC is acting as if it's a new law and the new law is retrogressive or non-applicable unless they say so. So I think lawyers in Nigeria should really be waking up to actually sue the EFCC for incompetence and not doing their jobs. We have over several millions of Nigerian lawyers graduated in this country. So they need to get busy. They can carry on this as a pro bono responsibility and take it up from there. And then I'll go to the issue of the Chibok girls. They are particular to me because I know we did a documentary on those girls to remember them. Today we're told that about 89 or 91 of them, depending on whose sources you're referring to, it could be Borno State government, could be the news media telling you 89 or 91. Bottom line, at least 90 young children, or girls in particular, are not back from captivity. And a situation where the Borno State government is being accused of reimagining recaptivity for these young persons is something to look at again, and I think is worth investigating. But most in particular, here is my major concern. We cannot say that these young girls are Christians who were abducted, majority of them, and then you now make them be married to their abductors and stay with them. That is a horrible syndrome, reenactment of a syndrome we shouldn't even be thinking about again. A situation where religious culture, right, supersedes ethical practices human treatment.
Yeah.
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
We need to get to a point where we need to understand that, look, this treating of this matter with kid gloves, where there is heinous crime committed, and then there is no consequences, heavy, stiff consequences that actually sends a message to the public to not be involved in this. It's sad. And the fact that these guys can actually continuously camouflage in military coveralls, as I would like to call them, and they go into these communities in large numbers. And the fact that there are intels ahead of time to even inform the military, the intelligence agencies within these spaces that these people are coming and no action is taken. There should be consequences on the intelligence spaces where people are held accountable for not doing the needful. Because it's not rocket science. It's not a strange a UFO that just came, nobody saw it and disappeared. These people come from very long miles and they dress in military common flag. And that's a problem too. And we need to look into that. Okay. So our children, the Nigerian government needs to get to a point where we say the Nigerian life matters. A Nigerian life matter and a child's life matter, and security regarding our public schools, private schools, their protection should be number one.
All right, let's go now to that story you were about to start. Israel, Iran, and it's making major headlines this morning all over the world. I'll take this one from the Vanguard that says over 300 drones, missiles fired from Iran rather. This is according to Israeli army, and that these were launched towards Israel in its unprecedented attack overnight, and it injured at least 12 people, an Israeli army spokesperson had said. And the thing is, when a breakdown was given, the Israeli army was able to take down loads of the drones and the missiles fired at their country, and they vowed that, you know what, we're going to retaliate. And America is saying here that we will not take part in any retaliatory action against Israel. U.S. warns, or rather against Iran. Why am I mixing it up? Sorry about that. We will not take part in any retaliatory action against Iran. U.S. warns Israel. And the G7 came out to say we are backing Israel. Rufai?
Okay, so let's get a couple of facts right, because the reporting in the papers was wrong. Number one, it wasn't Israel that took out most of those missiles. It was a combined team of the Americans and the British and all of that. Once the missiles started flying out, the Americans sent their own fighter jets in and the British, and they were shooting down those missiles. Secondly, Israel has two on-ground missile defense systems, which is called one, the Iron Dome and the Arrowhead missile system. The Arrowhead missile system takes care of short-range missile, Iron Dome, I think, long-range missile. So these two combined effort plus the combined effort of the West came in. Secondly, the reporting was wrong. It was not just from Iran that they fired those missiles into Israel. They fired from Iraq, they fired from Yemen, and a couple of other coalitive nations there around Iran there. what is happening in the Middle East today is that it's a proxy warfare. Iran and some of its allies have now gone into attack Israel. But Israel, too, was defended by some of its allies in the region, like Jordan and some other Western nations. So there's a proxy warfare going on. This was in reaction to the bombardment of the Iranian embassy, and some top Iranian commanders and generals were killed in Syria. And this has been the reaction. But Iran, too, was careful because Iran did not want escalation in the region. So Iran, prior to this time, met with Oman, which is their go-between, because Iran doesn't have like that straight direct relationship with America. So if they want to talk to the Americans about it, they'll meet with Oman. So Oman took the message to the Americans, and the Americans were well aware that all of these drones and missiles were going to be coming in. So they made adequate preparation to be able to block all of it. What's the dynamics now? The dynamics have opened escalation as regards to conflict in the Middle East and all of that. But there are a couple of things Israel, too, has to consider. Because if you continue this escalation with Iran, then Iran has a lot of access to the Strait of Hormuz, which about 30% of the world's shipping tanker will go through. That might also escalate prices of fuel and other commodities around the world and the shipping lines. Don't forget that Iran has some alliance with the Houthi rebels in Iran, in Yemen, that have been, blockading as regards, shipping lines and things like that. So that is also going on there. So you don't want an escalation of that. What is now probably going to happen is the fact that it will now move to the proxy warfare, where some of the friends of Iran will now fight on some fronts. And that's where Hezbollah comes in. Hezbollah comes in Lebanon. In fact, it was said that some Israeli fighter jets were plummeting some Hezbollah positions because they saw some attacks coming in through the Hezbollah region in Lebanon. As all of this is going, obviously both parties don't want an escalation of this warfare. But let's also take into consideration that in a case where there's an escalated warfare, what are the strengths of these two nations, Israel and Iran? Number one, Israel. Israel has about 170,000 sitting army. Iran has over 500,000 sitting army. Israel has a GDP of over $530 billion. Iran has a GDP of over $400 billion. Secondly, Iran has a larger navy, but Israel trumps them in technology because they have access to the West and they have a lot of Western tools. As regards ground forces, Iran has a lot of tanks, self-made tanks. Israel also has a lot of self-made tanks, but Israel has more technologically advanced tanks, and some of the tanks that they're building out of Israel are one of the best in the market. As regards air power, Israeli Air Force has over 600 planes, Iran has over 500 planes, and all of that. So on the balance of scale, you see that the Israeli has more technological advantage. What's the defense spending budget for these two countries? Iran has a defense spending budget of $10 billion yearly. Israel has a defense spending budget of $24.5 billion, right? So for every $1 Iran spends on defense, Israel spends $2.5. So they beat them 2.5 to 1 on that.
Okay.
When you look at all of this, on the balance of power, Israel also have the Western allies. So they have a slight advantage, a big advantage, I would say, over Iran. But if a war escalates in this region between these two countries, that definitely will cause a lot of snafu in the region, and global prices are definitely going to increase as regards crude and things like that. So Americans try to rein everybody in, and that's why the Americans gave the Israeli a soft landing, and the British and some other allies gave them a soft landing by trying to help them defend most of this rocket. Over 99% of the rockets didn't get into Israel. Only in the Negev desert region an air base was attacked, and Israel even released a picture showing that planes are still landing on that air base, and I think it was only a little child of about 7-year-olds that were killed by shrapnel as a result of the attack. So nobody was hurt as regards that. But the Iranians are also taking glory. Grand Ayatollah Khamenei, that's been there since 1989, because there's been protests in Iran, wants to make Iran look very strong and visible. So the Iranian media has been reporting that most of the attacks against Israel was successful, and which is not true. That's why, media, propaganda, and everything comes into play.
Yeah, it's a part of war,
But on the other front, we know what truly happened. So let's see how all of this happened, and we have to be cautious. I think I have to run now.
Okay. Usually it is a part of war, the media propaganda. Rufai, thank you very much. Ejiro, your own reaction before I bring this story that, pained me when I saw it. Go ahead. We have roughly less than 5 minutes to go. So you react to some of those I just mentioned, and then I bring 2 more stories before we move on to join the listeners. Go ahead.
Okay. So I would say can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, so I would go with regards to the loan recovery in Nigeria, where the SERAP is actually asking that the federal government should publish loan agreements by Obasanjo, Yaradua, Jonathan Buhari. It's important because when loans are borrowed in the name of Nigeria, it means it's a public conversation. It means it's a public responsibility and a public accountability strategy. And it's important because we've become a country where loans are often borrowed. They are approved by either the executive or the House of Assembly or National Assembly, as the case may be. And when that is done, we do not have any accountability follow-up that says this is how it is spent. So there's no transparency in the process of it. And when there's no transparency, what happens is you enable corruption. Yeah. When you enable corruption, it means that you create a system where the continuous pillaging, abuse, lack of accountability, transparency in the processes, and then effective good governance becomes a shoddy thing that people pay no attention to. And this has to change because we're living in a country, we tie that to the sticky price regime that we have here and the issue of the FCCPC, the Consumer Rights Protection Agency Commission that is in charge of consumer rights and protection and safety and all of that. We are seeing Nigerians talking about, if the dollar from 2,000 can drop to 1,100, why are we not seeing a drop in prices? This is because the loans for which we have taken, for example, to support our power system, the discos, to enable them run and all of that, there is no evidence to show that the loans are effective. You say loans are borrowed for infrastructural development, for roads and transportation, the ease of transportation, is it? And the ease of doing the business across Nigeria. There is no evidence of that. Yeah. We say loans are borrowed to affect businesses and small businesses so that they can thrive and all of that. From Jos to Kaduna to Benue to Borno to the Niger Delta to Southwest and all of that, you are not seeing evidence of this development. Even for the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, you are not seeing all of these connections to show that the loans are actually effective and doing what they are intended for. So as Nigerians, we really must use the Freedom of Information Act, really, and I commend Sarah for doing that, and all of us you had our voices to say that the federal government under the administration of the current president, Bola Tinubu, should by all means ensure that these monies are accounted for, not just going after individuals like the EFCC is simply doing for the sake of a charade, but instead to ensure that accountability is something that is in the forefront. We must see it in their websites, we must be able to address it, we must be able to go to various ministries and the agencies and the parastatals who are involved in this to get up this data fact. It is a public document. Okay, it is for Nigerians because it was in the Nigerians.
This story Ejiro is talking about, you can read the full details in the Daily Times. Published loan agreements obtained since 1999. Sarah urges Tinubu and is asking the president to establish an independent audit on spending of loans obtained by former presidents. And other stories we've talked about, you also find them Daily Times. Again, Army denies enlistment of repentant Boko Haram members into service. Says soldier who murdered Ms. Hawa Kulu Tabra is in detention under probe. And there is this one we also have. Labour is asking the FG to unveil new minimum wage by May 1. 720 billion naira lost to lower crude production in 2 months. That is a report. You read up more stories from the Punch, but there is this one I want us to look at finally. You can read this story I'm about to talk about from The Guardian, and it's concerns over abduction of men for marathon anal sex in Lagos. Is a very horrible story, and that there are major concerns. The only reason this one came to the fore and the police got involved, the police got to know, was because somebody fell victim, and that person is a relation of a police officer, and they got to hear this, and that there is a terror gang suspected to be homosexuals, and they abduct people for marathon anal sex, and they are basically in the highbrow areas, Lekki, and so on. And how do they operate? They get people as if those seeking for jobs, those looking for houses, they abduct them, steal their monies, after torturing them. They get their details, take monies from them, and subject them to hours of anal. I'll just leave it at that because it's daytime. They subject them to hours. And the oldest amongst them is a lawyer. Turns out that while they were even in detention, They caught him having same thing with one other suspect who he says is his girlfriend. This is horrible. And I'm sure it's not only Lagos. Let's use this to wrap this up, Ejiro. This is a horrible story, and you can find it in The Guardian. Go ahead. We have like a minute. Go ahead. Ejiro, are you there? Oh, try get her back. I would like her to react to that story, even in the midst while we start taking our calls. I'd like you to also get her back so that we'll take a look at that together, and let me hear her own perspective as per that story. The number you can call is 0700 903 903 903, 0700 903 903 903. Hello? Ejiro?
With you, yes.
Yes, you heard that last story I took, right?
No, could you rephrase that? The connection was a bit poor.
Okay, you know what? I just sent the link to you. Read it, and we'll get back to you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we'll take your calls now. Sorry about the glitches we had this morning. It does happen. 0700 903 903 903, and you could also call on WhatsApp 0817 175 6338. Good morning. All right, I'll read some of your messages. You have a lot of messages here on YouTube. Oladewale, good morning to you. Missed you on Friday. Didn't hear from you. You say, is leadership honest with citizens? If so, how much does Nigeria have in reserve? Please explain through FOIA. And Ms. Sarifai, EFCC will surely not come with any result, period. Nigerians must now beam a search or season EFCC just like the OFON's career politicians. Okay, I have yours. You say your name is Biafran Superstar Media. Boko Haram is swap enjoying in Nigeria with their enslaved so-called married Chibok girls in government-built houses, and Nigerian government says nothing wrong. Well, I think they do. Good morning to you too. You're saying Okwama people just have to beg now. Wow. Emmanuel Osi, every sector is just corrupt. Why? Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Cornelia.
Morning, how are you? What's the name? Where are you calling from?
I'm fine. This is Uduakudo from Solo.
All right, go ahead.
This EFCC, they are not working because the present government now, they really know their plan. They cannot expose the secret. That is my reason. And we need to come up for Delta State. Why the army no go Borno State and fight for the war? Leave that place for the innocent people. That's my conclusion. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Good morning, VOP. Sometimes I feel we Nigerians talk too much as a people because it's funny the kind mind the political class have. These people are telling us the country is broke and they pamper corruption. Good morning. Hello, I can hear you. Good. I can't hear you, rather. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Morning. Your name? Where you go? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm Mr. Donna calling from Milan.
All right, go ahead.
Quick one, please. This Chibok girl that returned. Can the government just investigate them and ask them the place they were residing and go to all of those people who are holding the hostage? Can they go and they use those skills to get the perpetrators of the law? I don't know why they are just serious up and I think those people are ghosts. Don't know what the APC government is doing. That's my take.
All right, thank you. African Sun, one man stealing trillions and billions in a broke country when some can barely eat 2 square meals a day. All right, Ejiro, you've looked at that story. Carry on.
I think it's very disturbing on so many levels. And if you understand why the connection between the young man who has been held by the EFCC, you understand that the undercurrent of the arrest may not be insignificantly related to the fact that, one, we have a law in Nigeria that is against these kinds of practices that we see in the country. And it is a strategy to see how they can stem the tide. Because the moment Nigerians endorse or support one form of the manifestation of these kinds of action, what will happen is it will become a thing everywhere. And let us remember that one of the ways that it's like the Osu case system in eastern Nigeria. The Osu case system is such that it tells you that somebody is a subhuman. And the Dialas in the Osu environment, we tell you, because I'm a Diala, that means I'm a freeborn. I am untouched and I'm clean and I'm pure. What happens is, in 1988, one of the reactions of the Osu members was that they were so upset with this caste system, they decided that, look, you know this caste, we're going to stop it. They decided to rape women, so-called Diala women, right? So that they can infest, in quote, infest the Osu on these women. This is because in a society where there is too much discrimination, right, one of the ways to either break the taboo or insult the taboo or make it a menace is to carry out acts like this. And this is the fallout, I can guarantee you, is part of a response by that community, right, to a thing like this. And it's an initiation process. It is also a realization that we're living in a country where social media has become so prominent that people's fetishes are becoming high on the radar. So what you see here is a fetishism that is going on, supported with a lifestyle, because the fact that they even steal people's money now tells you something. They empty your bank account because you are looking for a job. And this is a call out to Nigerians. You have to be very careful when you see juicy job opportunities. Even when you see the one that doesn't look juicy, but you are desperate, take note, your desperation can put you into trouble.
And you know,
so
even people who are looking for houses, are falling prey. And the police has said that they will be parading them maybe this week or next. We have to quickly wrap this up now because our segment is actually over. But your last line, you were saying something when I butted in. Go ahead.
Yes, the bottom line is this: Nigerians as a people, let us be careful that whatever we condone becomes our reality. Whatever we follow on social media, because I cannot understand why somebody who carries out acts that we say are bad has 5 million followers, and then we are okay with that. How do you follow something that you say you would not allow? The more you amplify something, the more it becomes your reality. So we are the cause of our own problems. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ejiro, and I'm glad you had time to talk about that topic. Have a very beautiful day. I'll move on now to take your call. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, your name, where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Peter Monse. I'm calling you from Shomolu.
All right, welcome. Go ahead.
Cordelia, the Chibok girls, about 91 are still with the Boko Haram.
Yes.
10 years now, these people's daughters, people's children, people's wives are still with the terrorists in the bush. And we have Nigerian government under APC. We have the military that are still functioning. And as of today, Buhari has done 8 years and was the commander-in-chief of armed forces. He could not command his soldiers to bring back these children. And now Chibok is about to spend 1 year. He did not make this as a priority. That if my predecessor could not bring back these people's children, whose crime only is that they went to school. In fact, retaining them in the school at that time, as we discussed this matter, was at the request of Shetima, who was the governor then. When the federal government told Minister of Education said that place is not safe for these students, Shetima said he guaranteed them safety and security. And at the end of the day, these girls were taken away. And today, Shetima is the vice president of Nigeria. So not my own. I am Peter Monse. I'm a different person. Okay. The point now is that we will not want to cry over spilled milk. Let this government bring back the remaining girls. Take out soldiers from Okoma and send them to this place. And finally, my sister, the Yoruba Nation agitators, what is the government attacking them? Is the government attacking them terrorists or just Yoruba Nation agitators? Because IPOP did not take over government office and then they were attacked terrorists. You can see different stroke for different people. It's very unfortunate. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll take some more messages. Yusuf Suleiman, our talks are not matched with action. We talk over and over without no action, no active actions. All right, those are some messages from YouTube. I'll take some of yours now from WhatsApp too, but let's take your call. Good morning. Hello, morning.
Yeah, Madam Cordelia.
Yeah, you're welcome. Your name, where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Please.
Welcome. Go ahead. You have a nice
Madam, I have these two things to caution side. This last news, the last report.
Hi.
If you watch, you see this is a criminal organization. Another one again has formed. Another one has formed. Before you see now, you circulate to all the whole Nigeria.
My God.
Another one has formed. How can you adopt people that is looking for job or house? And then you molest them in that aspect. Government have to look inside this. Everybody that is involved in this have to be litigated in this country, please. We are begging them. And another one is these Chibok girls. So APC government are telling us these girls are still remaining there. Abi?
Yeah.
And they want us to respect them. Let me tell all of them that because it's not affecting them, that's why they left them there. They are not their children, they are not their daughters, they are not their wives, they are not their sisters. Anything that happens to women happens to us as a nation. Then be careful what we are doing. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, very soon we may have more time to have this conversation on this program. We'll be keeping you updated on our plans and how we'll be moving. I'll take yours. HRHBC one call. The case of Bobrisky is like someone who has been targeted and finally his cup was full. They have been looking for a way to unmask him and he finally made himself a cheap prey. I don't believe that it was only spraying of money because there are thousands of Nigerians out there who've done more than Bobrisky but are still moving about freely. His situation should now teach his likes a big lesson, and if they fail to learn from it, they will equally be picked up through any other methods. And I have yours before I go to the next call. Prince Iotek from Arena Markets, you said, good morning. Beautiful Monday indeed it is. Let's go and make the money. Amen to that. Why is PDP romancing with Mr. Wike? He is a saboteur. He should be expelled from the party. Causing nuisance in PDP and River State. Concerning EFCC arrest of Bobrisky, though I'm not his fan, but imprison him is improper, or is it because he's not a politician? Mr. Shore showed video of Mr. President spraying money. Madam Cordelia, you talk about old video, not be me talk. Old comes before new. Talk about everything immunity covers some people. Anyway, Ejira said it all. Prince Iotek, thank you very much. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Smith. I am calling from Lagos State.
All right, go ahead. 90 seconds.
Right. I just want to put this. I want to say it is high time Nigerian government stop talking. Let's stop repeating everything that has been said already and speak of an action for a while. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It said enough of talk, action now. We need action. Good morning, VOP. No law in Nigeria is applied in the north. Wadume led the killing of 3 Nigerian trade police from rescue mission, and his release was celebrated. What a country. May God deliver our land. Harry Ogada from Palm Grove. Good morning. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Welcome. Your name, where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Sikan calling you from the Solo Kingdom.
Go ahead, 90 seconds.
Good morning to all Nigerians.
Welcome.
We are all going out this morning to make good money on Monday morning. My take is the 91 Chibok that are still remaining. I want to say that if this country were to be a country of people who have self-discipline and love for one another, Shetima, who is now the vice president of this country, was then the governor of the state. And it doesn't mean fit that what he ought to do as being the vice president, the first thing is for him to make sure that all the Chibok girls are out. But still today, those girls are still in the captivity of those people, which is very, very wrong. It is a painful thing that these girls were not taken out of this country for good 10 good years. Something happened to American citizens in Brunei, or I think in Kwara or wherever. Those people came all the way from America and then rescue their people, go back, and Nigeria 10 years, and people are still in captivity. It's a shame. It's a shame to this APC and C. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I must still stress this part, this thing. I'll take a minute to talk about it, and I hope that you will tell the young people around you to be very careful, because it seemed to be something spreading, and this is not new. It's not new. We're only hearing about it because from the report, a relative of a policeman fell victim. So you see all those text messages you receive that there is a job somewhere, or you've been called for an interview and all that. Don't do it. especially if they're in some of these highbrow places. Don't do it. Don't go alone. You're looking for a house, don't go alone. Now, I'll show you how these people work. But you can go online, read that story more. They will seize the people's card, torture them first, get their details, go to their houses, rob them, then come back. The people will be there and they will now subject them to hours of torture, sexual torture, doing what these people were not used to doing from behind. I'm not going to spell it out. I told you it's in the morning, we're talking now. This is something that seems to be increasing. We're only just hearing about it. And you know, when a man has been sodomized, the man will hardly come out to say anything because he'll be too ashamed. In fact, a rape victim is too ashamed to talk. So the circle continues. Good morning. All right, you call back. I have your Zayo from Fubara. You're talking about the issues going on, that the president has been putting square pegs in round holes, and you said, look at all the ministers. It has been party loyalist, and you didn't talk about Dayo. I like to make a request, Dayo. Please pick one of the topics in the papers that we're looking at and write about it, because you just send general messages and I find it difficult placing them inside what we're talking about. Please help me. Thank you. I have yours. Good morning. Good morning to you too. The matter concerning the Chibok girls is deeply troubling and inexcusable. It is disconcerting that some of these girls remain in the custody of individuals who claim to have been de-radicalized, while governmental responses appear to treat the situation as routine. This is not normal. Peter from Germany. Yes, it's not normal. And even the families are saying, what is going on? You put our children with these people and you say that you are doing what? Rehabilitation? Man, morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
Good morning. How? Mother Cordelia, good morning.
Morning.
In fact, my name is Richie from Italy. In fact, all this while I've been wanting to call you. I'm calling. The thing is not connecting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm surprised that you called me back. In fact, I'm grateful to God.
Yes. So, sorry, what's your name again?
I am happy. My name is Richie.
Richie. Okay, are you a weirdo?
Richie. No, I'm from Delta. I'm a Isoko guy.
Hey, Eve. Oh, yeah, carry on. Eve. Nyavo. Make a pepper on. They speak my language.
I love you, that guy, they pepper them.
No, na me won't pepper them. We don't talk Isoko. Eve. Okay, go ahead. Your time starts now.
Okay, all right. So, the issue is that I used to say this thing that Nigeria is a good country. We are great people. But the problem we're having is the leaders. This insecurity of a thing every time is something that is keeping me worried. It's making me worried every time. Hearing people die, kidnapping and all that. At least, right here, where I am here in Italy, I am a truck driver. I move all over the countries. I go to many countries, but do you know that if my hours finish in the forest, I will stay there and I'm well secured. Nothing will happen to me. Just last month here, I want to tell you something. Last 2 weeks here, I was in Milan. I parked there, I slept there. In the night, I heard a noise in my truck. When I look at my mirror, I saw there are some group of boys who wanted to do something with my truck. Inside here, where I was in my bed, I called the police. The police, what they told me that just leave your phone on. I left my phone on. They came without telling them my address. They came and they took these guys. This is security. So what are we doing? Because we hear that they kidnap people and they release them. So now, is it that you pay money to them or there's no fire? They say we rescue them. How did you rescue them? In the east.
Yeah.
There is gunshot.
Your time don't finish. It's 90 seconds don't finish. You know what?
It's all right.
By 9:30, 9:30, call me back. Let's just complete.
I want to talk to you more.
9:30, come back. Okay, thank you. All right, bye. If you pay you, I speak Isoko today. Minorities winning today. All right, let me quickly read this one. In as much as two wrongs don't make it right, let's be wary of selective justice and enforcement. Bobrisky's conviction, Boko Haram romance, victimizing IPOB and its leader, Yoruba Nation are instances. And this one is from Secular Advocacy TV. I don't know if that is how the message ended because I don't see anything after that. The major problem we have in this country called Nigeria is that every crime is politicized. We should keep sentiment aside and do the needful. This from Evans, aka Elder General from Isheri, Oshun. And also, okay, I'll be wrapping up shortly and I'll take yours. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, morning. Your name?
Madam Cordelia.
Welcome. Your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Peter Usipo. I'm speaking from Abanoje in Ikotu.
All sides, all voices done properly. Remember?
God bless you. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to speak on Yoruba Nation agitators. Over the weekend, how they went to House Assembly, and then, of course, even the governor's office as it were. Though we learned that about 15 or 20 of them were finally caught.
Yeah.
But in my own opinion, the action was a miniature military coup attempt. And to me, they are testing the waters. And the government should not take them
lightly
as it were. They should, in fact, Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not handle this with kid gloves. He should make sure that they are dealt according to the law and they should be charged for treason. Because if he deals with them with kid gloves, other regions will take advantage of this. So they should be very wary of that.
All right.
This is my submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that will be the last call. No more messages for now. And as I mentioned earlier on, working on some things, and we'll let you know what timing is going to be like so that we can deal with... Okay, let's take this one. I'll take this as the last call. Hi, morning. Hello? Hello, Remy.
Yeah, that's your boy.
Remy without Martins added. Good morning. You'll be the last call for today, the last caller.
Yeah.
And 30 seconds because time is up.
Testimony in church today.
Hallelujah.
You see, it baffles me when I see the evil that man do to man. How can seeking for means of livelihood lead you to another disaster?
My brother.
But my concern is this criminal network. They are highly connected. They might have people in police, they might have people in army, they might have people everywhere. So, who for the voiceless? You see, I don't really care about whatever anybody says. I think the sensible journalists that are still left in the land need to be on this case and make sure nothing is swept under the carpet as the usual practices of the Nigerian police. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Remy. Have a beautiful day. My brother and my sister, Ona, welcome. Ona, hear that story when I talk. Very, very, very disgusting story. And that thing is not just starting. I think that thing has been happening since. The story of the fact that there is a gang, a syndicate, right? You know what they do? They'll tell people, say, walk, they will now hold men. Do you understand? Molest them sexually, steal their things, and that even the oldest among them, na lawyer.
No be today start.
Not be today. And you see this lawyer, even inside cell when they put them, he was doing that same thing with one of the suspects, saying na in girlfriend.
It's addiction though.
There was a time there was a time they listed some places in Lagos that if anybody send you message that you should come for a job interview or whatsoever social area, don't go.
And
I can remember I saw those names.
They didn't add Lekki to it because this one is highbrow. This one is highbrow. And the people are driving exotic cars and all that.
To get them attractive now. They will paste, sometimes they will paste all these A4 paper. They will tell you job vacancy for 50,000.
Sometimes they will be sending you email.
Weekly. You'll be asking this
SMS.
This job vacancy, they will be paying you 150,000 weekly. No company's name. No, nothing. They'll just put their phone number. Then when you call them now, they will tell you to come so place.
Then they say even people looking for houses. They hold them join. That they will first torture them, get their details, they will leave them, they go rob that house, then come back and subject them to hours of this rubbish.
I think the time has come for the Nigerian police to use these ones as an example.
No, they say they will parade them all.
Heaven help those who help themselves.
Which heaven? Na Bible you quote, and you know the Bible.
This one has come this morning, now.
No. The thing is this: in as much as police need to work, the citizens too, Lagosians need to be careful.
There's something I want to say before.
Your microphone, your sound never suit me for ear well. Dress near where supposed to talk well. Okay.
This EFCC is saying that it's not only Bobrisky. They're investigating on some other Nigerian celebrities.
Yes, they never call you.
Both old and new.
They never call you.
So it's like
old things are passed away.
It's like EFCC is doing both Old and New Testament.
No, they say the Old Testament don't pass away.
Yes,
that videos from February something like that.
Yes, we start from the.
So they started the experiment with Bobrisky.
But as we talk for money, as Rufai himself said, the law now from February start. That law don't did
it has been there now. Many people even complain that why is it that they started with Bobrisky? It has been happening. But they just started with Bobrisky to show others that some even said that maybe, a lot of stories.
The only thing I get from what they said is that they will be treating Bobrisky as they are treating other emails.
All right, thank you so much. I have to step aside. I'm Cordelia Obe. I'm going to be back by 9:30. We'll talk some business, talk some things still happening, and I hope to see you then. Take care.